Besides the outstanding quality and the unique design of Tentipi Nordic tipis, we have added some great features to the tents that really enhance your camping experience. If you're not familiar with the brand, it's good to know that all our camping tents share the same physiology, but some details vary. The Onyx have a basic range of features. Zircon is a step more advanced, and the Sapphire is the most sophisticated in all aspects. All three models come in cotton polyester canvas as well as lightweight silicone-coated nylon canvas. All three models exist in sizes from 5 to 15 persons. There's also the Olivine 2, a lightweight 2-person tent for hiking. For this demonstration, we've chosen a Sapphire tent, our most advanced model, to show you the full potential of our products. As the features vary between the different models, be sure to further explore the details of your model on tentipi.com. Our Nordic tipis consist of 2 chains of features that are crucial for a great camping experience. The safety chain consists of features that keeps you dry and safe, for instance the quality of the fabric, storm cords, stakes and straps, to mention a few. The comfort chain are the features that make your experience pleasant, like the ingenious ventilation system, the ability to keep an open fire inside the tent, and the room to socialize. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and Tentipi's understanding of this fact and our ability to create chains with consistently strong links have taken us to our world-leading position. First of all, let's have a look at the overall structure. Our Nordic tipis are designed to be not just a shelter, but a home. In fact, Nordic tipis have been used throughout history by the Sami, the indigenous people of northern Scandinavia, providing them a mobile shelter for all seasons. The unique shape of Nordic tipis enables an open fire to keep you warm and dry, and there is plenty of room to socialize. And you can even stand up straight inside. The symmetrical shape and the low center of gravity make the tents very stable even in strong winds. In comparison, traditional tunnel tents have a small surface facing the wind as long as the wind is blowing alongside the tent. But if the wind turns, the tent will have a much larger surface toward the wind, making it vulnerable. But the Nordic tipi has equal strength no matter of the wind direction, thanks to its symmetrical shape. Our models with the name CP are made of cotton polyester fabric, which has excellent breathing abilities to avoid condensation water inside the tent. On our lightweight models, however, condensation is avoided by installing an inner tent. The fabrics we use for the different models all have great water repellence. All our Nordic tipis have extra long canvas in the bottom, creating a flap. On the Sapphire and Zircon models, the edging is reinforced to better stand the wear from dirt, sharp rocks and rot. The flap can be folded outwards or inwards depending on your needs. Fold the flap inwards if you are using a floor. Tighten it with the toggles and rings on the edge. The upper ring is for fastening the floor. Using this method, the floor will overlap the flap, creating a shelter against moisture and insects. This same procedure can be used if you want to keep mosquitoes out without using a floor or inner tent. Place logs, round stones or other heavy objects on the flap to keep it tight to the ground. Fold the flap outwards and fixate it with a hook peg if you are using an inner tent. This will allow condensed water to run out of the tent and let fresh air in. Use the same procedure in strong wind, as the flap folded outwards will minimize the amount of wind coming into the tent from underneath. Please note that floor and inner tent are accessories not included when buying the tent. When camping on snow, fold the flap outwards and use it as a snow flap. See our instructive video about winter camping for more advice. All tents have top quality reinforcements that distribute strain and increase the durability of the tent. In the bottom of the tent you find the ground straps. Here you adjust the tension on the Nordic tipi. The upper strap tensions the canvas. Be sure to tension all straps around the tent equally to get an even pressure on the tent. An uneven tension can cause damage to your tent. Note that if the tent is standing on uneven ground, you may have to pull one strap further than the others to achieve even tension. Or you can move the peg outwards if it's in a pit, or closer to the canvas if it's on a heap. The lower strap is the ground tensioner, which stretches the floor or inner tent if you have one. All our tents come with a selection of stakes and pegs optimized to each product's specific requirements of strength and weight. And in case you lose a peg along the road, we have added 2 extra of each kind that's in the bag. A tip if you want to cut down on weight is to take out the pegs you don't plan to use. When you have camped with your Nordic tipi a few times, you will learn which pegs you can't be without and which pegs you can leave at home. All our Y pegs are fitted with a reflective cord, so they become more visible to avoid tripping on them when you walk around camp nighttime with a flashlight. Our cotton polyester tents come with heavy-duty steel stakes that you can hammer down in almost any terrain. You can use any type of hammer or mallet, a stone, or what you can find in nature. Due to the relatively high weight of our cotton polyester tents, we haven't intended them for longer hikes, but for base camp. Therefore, we ship them with these rather heavy stakes. The cotton polyester tents also come with aluminum Y pegs for fastening the storm cords and for opening up the in-tent vent ventilation system. Do not use any tools for pegging down the Y pegs, as their weak point is the upper part of the peg. Use a glove or your boot. Peg down with a 45 to 60 degree angle for optimal strength. For our lightweight tents, we pack the bag with aluminum Y pegs to cut down the weight while maintaining strength to support this type of tent. Use the longer pegs for the ground straps for deeper anchoring. The shorter pegs are intended for storm cords and for opening up the air intake for the in-tent vent ventilation system. All tents come with hook pegs. These are great for fixating the reinforced edging. The loops on the edge of the reinforced edging is where you should place the hook peg. That way, the reinforced edging will stay put underneath the floor. If you use other kind of pegs here, they might damage the floor or a foot. If you are camping on snow or sand, we recommend our aluminum snow stake. One very practical feature of our Nordic tipis is that they have only one pole, and it's located in the center of the tent. This 5-piece hardened aluminum alloy pole is one of the key features that makes it possible to set up the tent in only 3 minutes. In top of the tent there is a super strong cap that is resting on the pole when the tent is erected. This saves a lot of strain from the canvas as it does not rest directly on the central pole. Thanks to the symmetrical shape and the low center of gravity, Nordic tipis can handle hard wind. Usually anchoring the tent using the ground straps is enough, as long as the ground is durable enough to hold the peg. For extreme conditions, we have fitted the tents with storm cords that are ready to be employed instantly. Anchor the storm cords as far out as possible for maximum stability. The storm cords are attached to a hole band that distributes the strain evenly along its full length onto the tent panels. To avoid tangling when not in use, the storm cords on our zircon and sapphire models have clever holders that will keep them in place. The storm cords are reflective, so they become more visible to avoid tripping on them when you walk around camp nighttime with a flashlight. All our Nordic tipis are water repellent. In addition, we have made the door openings diagonal and placed a rain flap over the zippers to keep water out. And you can roll up the door to make your Nordic tipi snug on warm days. On the sapphire model, there are extra toggles and rings in the door opening. That way, the door can still be closed in the event of damage to the zippers. One of the main differences between our onyx, zircon and sapphire models is the amount of ventilation alternatives. Onyx has a basic amount of options. It uses the door opening as air intake and the ventilator cap located in the top as air outlet. Zircon tents can also use the door as ventilation, plus that they have one air intake in floor level fitted with mosquito net and a more advanced ventilation system in the top. The Sapphire model, which is the most advanced, has 3 air intakes in floor level in addition to the door and the top ventilation of the Zircon. Be sure to open up the flap on the outside when using the floor level air intakes. All models have mosquito net fitted in the door. On Zircon and Sapphire models, the top is also fitted with mosquito net. Be sure to keep the mosquito net folded away if you use an open fire, as it might get damaged from the heat. To enhance the indoor climate even more, the canvas of our tents named CP are made from cotton polyester, which has excellent breathing abilities. In the top of our tents you find the ventilator cap, a large adjustable hat for ventilation and for smoke clearance when using an open fire. The ventilator cap can be adjusted from inside the tent with our patented intent vent ventilation system to regulate the amount of ventilation. You can even choose from where in the tent you want to operate the ventilator cap. Handy if you want to regulate ventilation from your sleeping bag. Be sure to not have the regulating system connected to the center pole when using an Eldfell stove or having an open fire. It might burn the cords. If you use an open fire inside, it's important to ventilate correctly. Make sure you have at least one air intake open to let fresh air in and the ventilator cap open to let smoke and other gases out. On the ventilator cap, open up only the side that is facing away from the wind. The floor level air intake facing the wind should be opened. This will create an optimal airflow through the tent, the same way as a chimney works. If you do the opposite, however, opening up the side of the ventilator cap facing the wind, the smoke will blow back into the tent. Keep the large part of the ventilator cap open when the fire is going to get maximum ventilation. When the glow is near to die out and temperatures go down, you risk to get insects coming in from the top. Close the large cap and open the small one. But be sure to keep the air intake open for carbon monoxide to be ventilated out. Respect local fire regulations, never leave the fire unattended, and read our fire safety instructions. On the Sapphire and Zircon models, above the door you find the porch connection. Open it up and fasten your porch or tarp to the Velcro inside. There are separate porch connectors available for Onyx and Olivine models. On the sides of the inside of the tent you find rings for attaching accessories such as clever pockets for keys or phones, or a drying rail. The toggles on the sides of the canvas are also used for attaching an inner tent. For our cotton polyester tents, this is however not necessary for avoiding condensation, as their canvas breathes very well. But it will add an extra layer of protection against insects and give an extra layer of insulation when using a heat source in cold weather. In the top ventilator of the Zircon and Sapphire models, you find an opening fitted with Velcro. This is the chimney opening for the Eldfell stove. Be sure to open it up before you raise the tent, as you won't be able to reach it later. If you have forgotten to do this, you can however lower the tent by releasing the tension on the canvas and then fold away one section of the middle pole. Be sure to not cut the rubber cord inside the pole on a sharp stone. When not in use, make sure your Nordic tipi is dry and clean and stored in the bag. On the Zircon and Sapphire tents, the bag has a compression system to keep the packing volume down. Use the clever plastic hooks for folding the straps so they don't tangle. When the tent is pitched, use the bag for collecting all spare parts, accessories and other things that are associated with the tent. Store the bag in one corner inside the tent until you take it down. That way you have everything in one place.